One of the most common questions we hear concerning intelligent design is, how did intelligent design fit into the creation-evolution debate? To answer this question fairly, it's important to be clear on what we mean by evolution, creation, and intelligent design. Evolution can mean many different things, which is why a precise definition is critical. Some meanings are uncontroversial, such as things change over time or that organisms adapt to their changing environments. Common examples include bacteria developing a resistance to antibiotics, or finch beaks varying in size over weather cycles. This is small-scale evolution, known as microevolution, and no one disputes it. As helpful as the idea of microevolution is to biology, it is irrelevant to the larger claims of Darwinism. In microevolution, no new species crop up. Bacteria remain bacteria, and finches remain as finches. Controversy and confusion arise, however, when Darwinists claim that microevolution leads inevitably to macroevolution, radical dramatic change that produces completely new species. Darwinists assert without evidence that organisms have unlimited ability to change. Macroevolution is a central feature of Darwinism. Darwinism makes two big claims. First, all organisms, that is life forms, are related back through time to a common ancestor. This is typically called common descent or universal common ancestry. And second, the process that brought all organisms into existence from a common ancestor is natural selection acting as random variations. This process operates by chance and necessity, apart from any evident intention or indirect design. Darwin argued that nature would select the fittest organisms, the stronger, quicker, healthier ones to survive and produce offsprings. This is called natural selection, and it is not a controversial idea. We see it in nature every day. The controversial part is the claim that this process alone can lead to the emergence of a new species. According to contemporary Neo-Darwinism, one organism becomes more fit than another through random mutation of genes, or in layman's terms, sheer luck. Though most mutations are harmful and some are neutral, Darwinists bank on the occasional positive mutation to prop up their theory. Given enough positive mutations and enough time for natural selection to act on them, evolution could account for all the complexity and diversity of the biological world, without need for intelligent guidance. In fact, intelligence would then be the result of evolution rather than something that guides it. This is the way the word evolution is used in science classes today. It means Darwinism, macroevolution, not microevolution. Nevertheless, many people confuse the evidence of microevolution with evidence for macroevolution. After a Newsweek article on evolution, one respondent wrote to the editor in defense of Darwinism. He writes, "They say that there is no evidence for evolution, yet there is within my own lifetime. My older sister was one of the patients saved by the new wonder drug penicillin, which probably couldn't save her now because microbes have evolved to the point that penicillin can't kill them anymore." That's fact, not theory. Evidence that life forms can change over time. Can you spot the confusion? She offers evidence for microevolution, but her example is irrelevant to the grand claims of Darwinism. If in order to beat the antibiotic, the bacteria has evolved into jellyfish, that would be evidence for Darwin's theory. But no such transition has ever been observed. So how does intelligent design fit into the evolution-creation debate? The intelligent design community is a broad tent. We have only begun to glimpse how design gets implemented and expressed in the fabric of nature. Some argue that God continually intervenes in nature to create new species. Others accept common descent, arguing that God front-loaded the universe with information for it to evolve. Biochemist Michael Behe, author of the book The Edge of Evolution, for instance, accepts common descent, but argues that it requires intelligent guidance. Behe believes that apes and humans share a common ancestor, but he rejects Darwin's claim that random variation and natural selection alone explain how they happen. Thus, he accepts the first tenet of Darwinism above, but rejects the second. Many other intelligent design theorists, on the other hand, reject common descent. Developmental biologist Jonathan Wells, co-author of the book The Design of Life, for instance, sees fossils and molecular data as so full of gaps as to overthrow the gradual pattern of organismal change predicted by Darwin's theory. Intelligent design theorists may disagree over common descent, but they agree that organisms show clear scientific evidence of design. Darwin's theory, in their view, is false. The primary question for intelligent design is not how organisms came to be, though they regard that as an important question also. Rather, it is whether organisms demonstrate clear, observable marks of being intelligently caused. Theistic evolution is another key element. Unlike intelligent design, which clashes with Darwinism, theistic evolution holds that God used Darwinism evolution to produce the diversity and complexity of life forms on Earth. Theistic evolution considers belief in God consistent with Darwinian evolution. According to theistic evolution, the biological world shows no scientific evidence for the existence of a designer. The biological world may appear designed, but that appearance of design is either a religious intuition or an artifact of evolution, which produces things that appear to be designed but really are not. Theistic evolution is scientifically indistinguishable from atheistic evolution, claiming that the universe provides no scientific evidence for intelligent causes. One might ask, if undirected material causes are so effective at designing the world, why invoke God at all? Theistic evolution seems to put God out of a job, or makes him a master of stealth who never shows his hand. Theistic evolution sidesteps the key question: does hard scientific evidence of design exist in nature? If so, can we discover evidence of God's existence? The answer is obvious. Put nature to the test and see where the evidence points. This is precisely what intelligent design does. It has us do the scientific legwork to determine whether a designer actually is responsible for the physical world. Creationism holds that the universe was created by a supreme being. Creationists come in two types: young earth creationists and the old earth creationists. Young earth creationism is based on the particular interpretation of the book of Genesis in the Bible. According to young earth creationists, God created the world in 6 24-hour days. The universe is roughly 10,000 years old, and fossils that scientists dig up were largely created by Noah's global flood. All earth creationists, on the other hand, allow more latitude to their interpretations of Genesis. They accept standard scientific dating, which places the earth at roughly 4.5 billion years old, and the universe at 13.7 billion years old. Moreover, they accept the microevolution as God's method of adapting existing species to their changing environments, but they reject macroevolution. Intelligent design, though often confused with creationism, is in fact quite different from it. Rather than begin with a particular interpretation of Genesis, as young earth and old earth creationists do, intelligent design begins by investigating the natural world. Given what the natural world tells us about itself, its proponents argue that an intelligent agent best explains certain patterns in nature. Intelligent design provides a platform for Christians of various stripes, including young earth creationists, old earth creationists, the gap theorists, to find common ground in making the case for design in nature. The great difference with creationism, then, is that intelligent design theory relies not on prior theological assumptions for recognizing intelligent activity, but on reliable methods developed within the scientific community. Even Judge Jones in the Kitzmiller versus Dover trial recognized that intelligent design proponents do not base their theory on the book of Genesis, a young earth, or a catastrophic Noachian flood. So who is the designer? Intelligent design does not identify the designer. Why not? The question of identity of the designer goes beyond the scientific evidence for design into philosophy and religion. Most advocates of intelligent design are Christians, but many Jews, Buddhists, Muslims, and Hindus, and agnostics see evidence for design in nature. The evidence of science can identify a designer consistent with the God of the Bible. For example, one that is powerful, creative, skilled, and benevolent. But science alone cannot prove that this designer is the God of Christianity or any other religious faith. That is why intelligent design research can be an effective tool in apologetics. Rather than beginning with religious presuppositions, design theorists appeal to publicly available evidence. That is, they reason from what we can see in nature. They do not begin by asking people to accept that the Bible is true. We do not need to have any opinion about the Bible to see that the universe bears the marks of design. This is the same tactic that I use to teach people how to defend the lives of unborn children threatened by abortion. Rather than assuming the Bible is true, it is much more fruitful to reason from science, philosophy, and common sense to a biblical view of the unborn. For those willing to honestly consider the evidence, a compelling scientific case can be made that certain features of the world are best explained by an intelligent agent. Are you open to that evidence?